Alright, this is my review of the TOPO Athletic running shoe. This model is called the RT. It's built for a daily mileage trainer. It has 8 millimeters of EVA foam and 4 millimeters of rubber on the bottom. So I went with this shoe because I really enjoy the Vibrams, and these shoes are made by the CEO who actually started Vibram and then went and made his own company, TOPO Athletic. His name is Tony Post, so that's where the name comes from. As you'll see here, there's a distinct split toe design, and this design gives you a really natural feel. It allows your foot to function a little bit more naturally. The muscles in your feet, actually, one of the major muscles controls the big toe movement, and then other muscles are all connected to the other 4 toes. And so it really secures to your foot a little bit better when you have that split toe design. And if you have a really wide foot like mine, it really helps the fitting. So yeah, I wanted something that could give some more protection than the Vibrams do. And these obviously have more cushion than those. So I ordered these on July 1st. I took them out for a first test run this morning, about 3 miles. And you know, there's some things I like about them, some things I don't. I'm not sure if I like. This is actually the sort of the everyday trainer, and I think it's a little bit too cushiony and a little bit too much of a shoe for me. As you'll see, it's a very flexible shoe, and this foam doesn't go all. That's not all the way up on the foot. That's just kind of wraps around, so your foot actually sinks down a little bit into the shoe. One of the things I didn't like on one of my left foot is actually quite a bit wider than my right, and it doesn't fit quite as well. But if you have a normal shaped foot, these will probably fit really well. If you have a wider foot, I found that this arch right here does kind of dig into my foot a little bit. It is pretty cushy foam and pretty flexible, so it will flatten out, but I did find that a little bit cumbersome. If you compare it to a shoe like this is another minimalist shoe that I've worn in the past. This has no arch, and I can't understand why some shoe manufacturers continue to put an arch in their minimalist shoes when it really you don't want any support or anything under your arch. You want it to be able to function naturally. Whereas a shoe like this, it's just completely flat. So anytime you put an arch in a shoe, you're gonna put some people off from wearing that shoe. If you have a wider foot or a lower arch, it's going to hit you in the arch and it's not going to feel quite as comfortable. Another thing is if you have a wide foot, I found that taking out the insole gave my foot a little bit more room. I was able to leave it in on the right foot and that felt comfortable, but taking it out for the left, which is the wider foot, feels better. If you compare it to the Vibram insole, you can actually see that the Vibrams are a little bit wider if I hold them up together. You'll see that by overlapping these, depending on your foot shape, you can see the Vibram gives your big toe a little bit more room, and there's a little bit more room here for a wider foot, and you can see that on the front as well. So depending on your foot shape, these could either work great or you might feel like you need a little room, depending on how well you like the Vibrams. Another thing that I've recently learned about from Dr. Ray McClanahan, who is a natural podiatrist, is that you want, to make sure that a shoe fits good, you want to take out the sock liner of the shoe and place your foot over it and see where it fits and where it doesn't. So if I do that with my Vibrams, yeah, it doesn't completely fit because I have a abnormally wide foot, I guess. But by having those individual toe pockets, my toes can kind of shape and mold and fit to the shoe. And it's pretty comfortable when I'm running. Whereas a shoe like the TOPO, you see if I line up my pinky toe is getting cut off. And that probably won't be a problem for most people, but I did experience some rubbing on this pinky toe. And what I thought was kind of funny is, if you look on the bottom here, they make the shoe almost as if you have 4 toes. So you've got your big toe here, second metatarsal, third, then fourth, and it's like, where's the pinky toe? And for my foot at least, you can see where that's getting cut off, or if I move my pinky toe over on the sock liner, then my big toe is pushed off to the side. So I'm sure for most people that won't be a problem, but I mean, on my left foot, which is the narrower foot, it fits fine. So if you have a normal shaped foot, it's going to be great. Like I said earlier, the shoe was a little bit too much of a shoe for me. I wanted something to protect from rocks, possibly on trails, and occasionally when you're running on the road even, you'll come across a sharp rock, and it can be pretty startling if you're wearing a shoe like this, which is the Vibram 5 Fingers. There's almost no protection. It's basically just abrasion resistance. So it's nice to have some different options, but it seemed a little bit too much of a shoe, and they make a lighter weight shoe called the RR, which is marketed as a racing shoe, and I might give that a try. So that's my initial review of the TOPO Athletic RT. Thanks for watching.